Southbound Sares. What? Carousel. Forget it.
Hi fans of high quality entertainment. Today I am going to be talking about, sadly, the final album for Led Zeppelin, because of course John Bonham had passed away. And you know, the one thing I've never really thought of before is I'm kind of not glad, but it's good that Led Zeppelin just called it a day. You know, The Who, when Keith Moon passed away, I never bought any of the albums with Kenny Jones on drums. I don't know. It was, no matter what, it just wasn't the same without Keith Moon. Not that I didn't enjoy some of the later songs. But with Led Zeppelin, I don't see how they could replace him with any other drummer. In my community this morning, I posted this for a couple of hours, and I got 108 votes. And I had said, today's video is on Led Zeppelin's In Through the Outdoor. I'll use some of your comments in the video. How do you rate it? And so there was excellent, very good, good, fair, and poor. And here are the results. So 20% of you thought it's excellent. 34% very good, which was the majority. 29% good. 15% fair, and 2% poor. I don't know. If you're a Led Zeppelin fan, I don't see how you could, even their worst album, I don't see how you could say it was poor, but it's your opinion. Unless maybe a couple of people that voted just aren't Led Zeppelin fans. So thanks for those that commented. I might have missed one or two, and I apologize. Dominic Pardo said, I love it from the standpoint of nostalgia. It was part of the soundtrack for a fun time of my youth. Kevin Young, it was my gateway into the Zepp world. As much as it will always be a favorite album of mine. Dr. S, maybe my least favorite of the original albums, but that most likely means it is still pretty good. It's definitely better than a lot of people are saying. It's just different. The original vinyl package was cool. Funked Up East, love your hair, Larry. Thank you. Yep, gonna be 65 in February, and I don't dye my hair. I don't know if I've ever said that before or not. The album is fine too. Simon Pope, it's almost like Led Zeppelin were trying out new musical directions before a new decade started. Not their best album, but Zeppelin trying new things is always interesting. James Wilson, the first time I heard it, I had no problem with the album. I thought it was very good. Not quite as good as Led Zeppelin's first 6 albums, but not a bad album at all. Presence was the Led Zeppelin album I had issues with for many years. It took till the 2015 remaster for me to warm up to that one. And I still think In Through the Outdoor is better, but I don't mind pop music as opposed to rock. Bobby Vox, the goods are really good with some meh. Maurice Harvey, I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan, and I remember being quite disappointed on hearing In Through the Outdoor. Standout track on it was In the Evening, in my opinion. The rest of it, though, was pretty average. I would rate it fair. And then this name I can't pronounce, I apologize, but thank you for, he comments quite often on my videos. So shout out to this person. In my opinion, it's an okay album. Surely not as good as the previous ones, even Presence. I believe it features some good tracks like Hot Dog and In the Evening. but Carouselambra remains the worst Zeppelin song to me. Woo. Big Sky. In a word, awful. I guess he's one of the ones that chose poor. I can't listen to it or Presence apart from T for One. Coda is better. So I have had a change of heart in my opinion of this album, and I feel now that it is underrated, and before I hear back, it's not underrated. Well, if you go to Rate Your Music, where a lot of fans rate and review albums, it is the least favorite of Led Zeppelin studio albums. Led Zeppelin 1 is a 3.96 out of 5. Led Zeppelin 2 is a 3.94. Led Zeppelin 3 is a 3.84. Led Zeppelin 4 is 4.11. Houses of the Holy, 3.91. Physical Graffiti is a 3.96. Presence is 3.38. And In Through the Outdoor is 3.14. Yeah, so a couple of nights ago, I always, look at my CDs and I think of what to take into the bedroom, because in bed I have headphones. I listen to music for at least 2 hours, 3 hours. I never really listen to it during the day. And it just hit me. I was kind of drawn. I was thinking Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor. I was just drawn to it that night for some reason. And so I played it, and I enjoyed it the most I've ever enjoyed it. And when this came out for me in 1978, it was disappointing. And I hated, like, Robert Plant's vocals, especially on In the Evening, seemed buried in the mix. And, there's no lyric sheet or anything, so it's like you couldn't figure out half of, or even 3/4 of what he was singing, and it was kind of frustrating. And so when the remasters came out, I was really looking forward to this, being improved in whatever way, even though it wasn't remixed. I thought maybe just being remastered might bring up his vocals a bit, and it didn't. It was still disappointing to me. And one thing I wonder is, why, would Jimmy Page ever consider remixing the Led Zeppelin albums? Maybe he feels they don't need to be remixed. But, for In Through the Outdoor, I feel, especially for In the Evening, that Robert Plant's vocals are buried. And I don't like it. But at least I know what he's singing now, because with the, we didn't have the internet back in 1978, but it's easy to find the lyrics these days. So let's go through the songs. In the Evening is so catchy. It still kind of bugs me about the vocals, but at least I know what he's singing now, like I've said. It's a very catchy, great guitar riff. I love the "Oh, oh, I Need Your Love." It's very catchy, and it's excellent. Southbound Ceres, I don't know. I love it. It's very upbeat. It's kind of a funky tune, and I've always loved that song. Fool in the Rain, I think I enjoyed it at first, and then for quite a few years it kind of annoyed me for some reason. But like I said, the last time I played this, because I hadn't played this in probably over a year, I just really enjoyed it. And the, John Bonham's drums and the Latin feel of it and everything. It was really good. Hot Dog. I love it. I know it's probably, on a top 10 worst Led Zeppelin songs list. It's usually included. Sometimes it's number 1 or number 2. But it's just a fun rockabilly song. I think they play it well. It's, Jimmy Page's guitar solo is maybe a tad on the messy side, but that's Jimmy Page. And it's a fun track. I really enjoy it. And I have a new love for Carouselambra, however you say it. Yeah, that was probably the one that I've struggled with through the years the most, but I finally totally enjoyed it. I actually have enjoyed it more the last 3 or 4 listens of this album. Actually, the whole album. It's, slowly through time, I've enjoyed it more and more. All My Love, I used to think when it came out that it was kind of, too, I'm trying to think of the word, but just too sugary sweet, all of my love. And then maybe 5 years ago or so, I found out that that song was for Robert Plant's son, who sadly passed away at a young age. And of course, that brought a new meaning to it. And so the next time I heard the song, it's like, I appreciated it a lot more. And my favorite song on the album is I'm Gonna Crawl. It would be in my top 10 Led Zeppelin songs. Robert Plant's vocals, Jimmy Page's guitar solo. That's the other thing. I know some people think this is more of a Plant and Jones album, and I know that I guess Jimmy Page was kind of struggling with his drug issues at the time. I know, it's a shock. Yeah, but that one scream near the end that Robert Plant does, it's just amazing. And it's just a great way to, sadly, end the Led Zeppelin discography. And I don't even have Coda. I used to have Coda and I just never really cared for the songs, the expanded Coda. But I might pick that up again and give it another go, because maybe I'll like it more. And so I would say, that's the other thing, between Presence, which I really like, and In Through the Outdoor, I think I love In Through the Outdoor more than even Presence. Yeah, Achilles' Last Stand is awesome. For Your Life I love. Yeah, Royal Orleans is probably one of my least favorite Led Zeppelin songs. Nobody's Fault But Mine is excellent. Tea for One is a great blues song, but between that and I'm Gonna Crawl, I prefer I'm Gonna Crawl. And then Candy Store Rock is okay, and Hot Song for Nowhere is good, but not one of my favorites. So yeah, between these two albums, I would choose In Through the Outdoor over Presence. So I would just like your thoughts. Again, maybe, just give this album another listen too, if you haven't listened to it in a while. And then come back and tell me how much you hate it. So yeah, just a new respect for Led Zeppelin's In Through the Outdoor for me. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.